Hello students. Today we are going to discuss about the religious beliefs and devotional path during the medieval period. Medieval period saw the rise of two religious movements which has influenced greatly the life of the people. The two religious movements were the Bhakti Movement and the Sufi movement. So we will discuss about the first Bhakti movement, then Sufism. The Bhakti movement rose to popularity during the medieval period. That means popularity means it becomes famous or followed by more and more people during the medieval period. So we will talk about some of the philosophy of the Bhakti movement. So first of all, we will talk about the Nayanars and Alvars, and then we will talk about Shankaracharya, Jagadguru Shankaracharya. Then we will talk about Basamnas, Virashaivism, and Sant of Maharashtra, and some Sant which were found in northern part of India. So first we will talk about the Nayanars. There were 63 Nayanars. And who were Nayanars? These people are the followers of Lord Shiva. So Nayanars were the followers of Lord Shiva, and they belong to all the caste, not only Brahmins but belong to all the caste. Okay, and they belong to all caste and social status, like workers, peasants, potters, and hunters, etc. And the most famous among them were Sambandar, Sundarar, Appar, and they were 63 in numbers. Contrary to the Nayanar, the Alvars were the followers of Lord Vishnu, and they were 12 in number. Okay, so their philosophy was that Nayanars believed that we should worship Lord Shiva to attain the salvation, and the Alvars believed that Lord Vishnu, you have to worship Lord Vishnu in order to attain the salvation. So now we will know about the philosophy of Shankara. Shankara, he was the famous son, the philosophers of India. He was born in Kerala in the 8th century. He believed in Advaitism. Advaitism is a philosophy that believes in Atma and Paramatma. What is the thought or belief of Advaitism? It preached that individual self or individual soul or Atma at last will unite to the Supreme God, and the whole world is an illusion. Nothing is true. It's an illusion, or it's just a make-believe thing. So nothing is true. So to get away from this illusion or this Maya, what is the right path? The right path is knowledge. You should have knowledge. Knowledge as how to get to the Supreme God, and to understand the true nature of God, the Creator. So to understand what the God thinks about us individual, we should have knowledge, some knowledge. Knowledge is essential according to Shankara, and he believed in Advaitism. Advaitism means the unity of soul to the super soul or the Supreme God which has created us. Okay, now he apart from Shankara, now there was a famous Sant Ramanuja, and he was born in Tamil Nadu, and in the 11th century, he was born in 11th century in the state of Tamil Nadu. He was the follower of Lord Vishnu. He taught his disciple that devotion to the Lord was the only means with union. So unless and until you are devoted to one particular Supreme God, so all Almighty, you will not be able to attain the salvation. He was a bit, his philosophy was a bit different from what the philosophy of Shankara was. He believed in Vishishta Advaita. What is Vishishta Advaita? qualified oneness. Though he thought that though the soul combines with the super soul, that doesn't mean the end of the individual soul. The individual soul still retains some identity of its own. So this was Vishishta Advaita, which Ramanuja believed. Okay, and his followers or disciples, those who followed him, were Ramananda, Kabir, and Nanak. His message was carried forward by his disciple Ramananda. So Ramanuja's disciple was Ramananda. Kabir and Nanak rejected all orthodox religions, but Tulsidas and Surdas accepted existing beliefs and practices. So Kabir and Nanak were the sons who rejected all kind of orthodox things which was in the earlier practices, but Surdas and Tulsidas accepted the previous kind of practices, beliefs and practices. So in Tulsidas Ramcharitmanas, we found that he wrote Ramcharitmanas, which was a famous book, holy book of the Hindus, and Surdas has written Sursagar, Sursavali, Sahitya Lahari, etc. Now we will talk about Basavana's Virashaivism. Basavana's movement was called Virashaiv. Basavana was a sant, and his philosophy or preachings were known as Virashaiv. What do he taught? He taught us the equality of all human beings. He taught, he was against the ill treatment of women, and he was also against all kind of rituals, etc. So, and he was against idol worship and any kind of ritual. Idol worship means, okay students, so we are talking about Basavana's Virashaivism. Basavana preached about the social equality. He was against the ill treatment of women, and he was against all kind of caste system, and he was also against the idol worship and any kind of rituals. Now we will talk about the Sant of Maharashtra. The Sant of Maharashtra were large in number, and it witnessed a large number of Sant poets, and they all composed in Marathi, and they were very famous still now. Some of the Sant of Maharashtra's name were Janeshwar, Eknath, Namdev, Tukaram. The common thing about all these sants were that they have a humanistic approach. They have a humanist approach towards the whole mankind. They don't believe in that you have to leave your home in search of God, and they are against any kind of excessive piety or social differences which are based on the birth. So they rejected the idea of renunciation, and they preferred that while living in our family and earning our livelihood like any other person, we can be serve mankind, and we can come near to the God. And so this was a humanistic idea in which they believe in sharing each other's pain and helping each other and sharing and caring each people, basically humankind. So this was the basic concept, and they all wrote in Marathi, and their compositions were very, very famous, and they inspired the people still now. So basically all the bhakti saints were of this idea that love and devotion is more important than any kind of rituals and any kind of elaborate practices. So some of the important sons of this period were Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mirabai, Kabir, Guru Nanak. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was from Bengal, and he emphasized on Krishna Bhakti, and Mirabai was also a Krishna Bhakta, and she was a Rajput princess which turned into a devotee of, she was a devotee of Lord Krishna from the very, very beginning, from the childhood. So both of them composed hymns in praise of Lord Krishna. Now we will talk about the Nath Panthi Siddhis and Yogis. They have a different kind of philosophy. They also criticized the rituals and social order, and they were living in simple logical arguments. And they advocated that renunciation of the world is necessary. That means leaving out this world in search of God. They took the path of salvation in form of meditation, and they believe in formless God. Okay, to achieve this, they practice many kind of yogasanas, and that is why they known as Siddhpanthis or yogis. And this was basically popular in the lokas. So this was about the Bhakti movement, and now which is prevalent in India. Now we will talk about the Sufi philosophy, which was also very popular in India. So Sufism it has come from Arabia, and the word Sufi means one who is pure. The Sufi word means purity. Sufi believed in the principles of Hadith and Quran, and the main principle of Sufism was the God is Almighty. The God is Almighty, has got all the power, and we should respect the God is everywhere, and true love of God means serving other people. And different religions have different ways of reaching to the God, but the God is same. So we should respect all religion, and they have a respect for this reason they have a respect for all the religion. And Sufis have this philosophy that we can achieve the God, we can come to near to the God through love and devotion. This was a common thing in the Bhakti movement and in the Sufism also. They do a lot of prayers and fasting like Bhakti movement. They also rejected elaborate rituals, and they sought union with God much as a lover, where they seek position, where they seek disregard the hard worldly position. And in the love and devotion to the God is the most important thing, and when it comes to the love and devotion of God, every worldly thing is useless. So they have a method of training is called zikr, the chanting of name, and contemplation, sama or singing, raqs means dancing, and they discuss many parables, and they have a certain exercises like breath control, and they do all these under the guidance of a guru, which is known as Peer in Sufism. The Sufi sons were known as the Peer. Some of the important Sufi sons' names are Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, Baba Farid, Nizamuddin Auliya, etc. And we will now talk about the Sufi order. There were total 12 orders or silsilas. 12 orders means one order is named after one Sufi son. Suppose someone is following Moinuddin Chishti, so that is Chishti silsila. Okay. So each silsila is identified by a name of a popular son, and they lived in a khanka. Khanka is similar to ashram or monasteries, and two of the silsilas become most popular in India, that is Chishti and Shuravardhi silsila. So the Chishti silsila was named after Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti. His dargah, as you know, is in Ajmer, and it is visited by the all caste, all religious people. It is not actually confined to a particular religion. It is visited by Hindus and as well as the Muslims. And other famous Chishti sons were, say, Kutubuddin, Bakhtiyar Kaki, Sheikh Farid, Baba Farid, etc. And now Shuravardhi Silsila, the founder of the Shuravardhi Silsila was Sheikh Bahauddin Zakaria, and other son's name is given Shah Alam Bukhari, Sheikh Sahabuddin, etc. Okay, now we will we will talk about, this is all about Sufism, and we will talk about two very famous sons of the medieval period. One is Kabir Das Ji and the second one is Guru Nanak Ji. So Kabir Das Ji was born in the 15th century, and he was very revolutionary in his ideas, in his thought, because he rejected all kind of rituals, and he doesn't believe in idol worship. He was a follower of formless God. He believed in formless God, and he wanted to unite Hindus and Muslims, and he condemned both the Hindu Orthodox practices and the Muslim Orthodox practices. So he criticized both the Muslims and the Hindus if he felt like these rituals are not actually very practical. So he was born in 1398 and he was a child. He was born found by a childless Muslim couple, Niru and Nima. So he was brought like a Muslim boy, but he was very much attracted by the Hindu philosophy. Also, he became the disciple of Ramananda, and he believed in social equality, and he wrote dohas, and in which he taught many things which are very practical in life. And the Kabir Das Ji's dohas are very very famous, and they are the two-line poems, two lines lyrical writings, which give us a lesson of life. Okay. And Kabir Das Ji was so famous that the Guru Nanak Dev Ji has taken at least 500 verses from Kabir Das Ji's Doha in the Guru Granth Sahib and incorporated it. Okay. And he was so frank that he was considered a threat to the Orthodox. The Orthodox religious people considered Kabir Das Ji as a threat, because he attacked on the Orthodox thinking of both the religions, and he was not fearful of expressing his thought very freely. Okay. Now we will know shortly about the Guru Nanak Dev Ji. He was the founder of Sikhism, and he, like Kabir, was also very much wanted to unify both the Hindus and Muslims. And his belief was that compassion, loyalty, devotion, happiness, mercy, truth, this should be followed by one person. And purity and charity was very important. As you can see, the Sikhism do a lot of charity. They do a lot of seva. They do a lot of sharing with others. And they believed, Guru Nanak Dev Ji believed in karma and rebirth. Karma means what are the deeds of the people. What the people do will affect their later life. Rebirth means you are born again. When you are die, you are born again as a new identity. This Sikhism was spread to Burma, Iraq, Tibet and Sri Lanka. His holy book of Sikh is known as Guru Granth Sahib, and the Guru Granth Sahib has got incorporated all the good philosophy of Hindus, Muslims, and he was very much impressed by the Kabir Das Ji's teachings, so that was also incorporated. So that's it in this chapter. Do read this chapter properly. Okay, see you in the next video.